Tell me a bit about yourself.
My name's Ryan. I'm currently 44, nearly turning 45. I've mainly worked in the resources industry most of my life. I have lived abroad in my younger years and travelled. I have come from a split home. My parents were divorced. I unfortunately followed that cycle through my life and my marriage. Had quite a traumatic, or what I believe to be a traumatic upbringing. Some pretty traumatic childhood experiences and things like that.
Okay, so how did you come to find Neil?
I had a very, very good friend put me onto Neil at probably one of, if not the worst times of my life. I was going through on the day that I found out some pretty upsetting news. She contacted Neil on my behalf and spoke to Neil and asked Neil if he thought he could help. He sort of heard my story and said give him my number, and if he wants to reach out, he's more than welcome to. So it didn't take me long, and it's pretty much that day that I reached out.
So after doing your initial consult with Neil, what made you come to Neil or start a program?
Well, it was we first had the initial conversation on the phone where Neil said, look, come in, book a consultation and just see if we gel, see if I like what he could bring to the table, see if he could help. And after that initial consultation, I just felt a natural compatibility and just felt really comfortable in speaking to Neil about my issues and what I'd been through. And with what he told me that he had done and what he does and what he can bring to the table, I just naturally thought there was something there that he could hopefully bring and help me through with what I'd been through and what I was going through at the time.
So how has doing a program with Neil changed your life?
It's one of those ones it's changed me in so many different ways that you've got to just come and do it to experience it, for starters, because it's so hard to explain. But in a lot of other ways, I can explain it. Like I feel energy shifts, blockages within myself that have been there for years that I now feel are really just flowing through me. I have greater understanding of myself where I really didn't get it before. And knowing yourself better, I think you know how to handle yourself in situations, dealing with when things come up in a much better way. So there's so many different aspects that have changed within my life since working with Neil that it's kind of hard just to put that one finger on one certain thing. But when you do work with Neil, because he works on so many different levels and covers such a broad range, it really is difficult just to say one thing. So it's one of those things where you've got to come in and you just got to try it and you'll understand.
Can you give us some examples of areas of your life that have shifted since doing the program?
Yeah, the understanding and knowledge of myself, massively. That is probably the greatest change within myself. My relationships within my family, that I have with my family, the relationships within my working environment, my relationships with my romantic relationships, outside, my relationships with my friends, even my relationship with the everyday environment has just changed. Everything changes just incredibly, and you have a greater understanding and appreciation for everything around you. Yeah, it's that understanding and awareness that you just grow to truly become a part of.
What was the defining moment when you knew that you've made some shifts in your life?
It's another funny one, because a lot of the time you don't actually realise that things have changed. It's not until you're sort of down that path and you go, oh, hang on a second, I've noticed that now. You actually pick that up, and it's when you reflect back on it and you go, oh wow, I didn't react that way. Whereas previously I would have, or something might come to you and you go, hey, this is actually starting to flow towards me more now. These situations are starting to come to me, or these people, like-minded people, are starting to pop up more and more in my life. Whereas previously they didn't, or it's just subtle things that just start flowing. It's very much like energy. It's just constantly and the more you become aware, the more it starts happening, and it's just a domino effect. And it just starts off subtle, and then it just increases, and the more aware you become, the more it happens. So again, it just slowly but surely.
Have you worked with other people before?
I have. As I previously mentioned, I've had what I believe to be quite a lot of different trauma throughout my life. So I've always tried to close out certain chapters or seek help, and nothing really worked. I've been to psychologists, I've been to all different types, psychiatrists, and nothing ever really worked. I've done meditations, I've tried a lot of different things, and nothing ever really has bridged this sort of gap the way Neil really has helped me, so I feel very fortunate.
So what makes Neil's work different from other people that you've seen?
I sit here and I sort of have a bit of a chuckle, because for me it's a personal level. It's a tough one. I have such a great connection with Neil, and I like to think everyone who would come and see Neil would have that personal connection. I'm sure they do, but I can only speak from my point of view. It's just another one of those things you just can't put your finger on. It's just that his understanding, the way he can read what's going on, not only in your energy. From the moment you walk in that door, he has this natural ability just to pick up on your energy, the shift in you, the way you just, like, I've walked through the door not realising myself half the time that my energy, like, I'm a bit low, like I've been training too hard, or I've been burning the candle at both ends because I've been studying, or and Neil's like, are you okay, mate? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm, because I've been chuffed to come in and do some more work here, and he's like, no, your energy's a bit low, like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, we need to talk about this, and you sort of sit there, and then you start going through it, and you go, oh yeah, you're right. I'm actually wiped out. And then it's just that personal touch, like, and you can tell he just really, really, truly cares, and he really wants to help you get to where you want to be. So it's that personal touch, and he seems really, truly invested, which unfortunately I think a lot of other people just see dollar value, the dollar sign, and they don't see the person when you walk through the door. That's what they see. They just see money. He's not like that.
So what would you say to someone who is considering booking a session or a program but is undecided?
Don't waste any more time. Book it. Be the best thing you ever do. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I'm going to be rebooking another program as soon as my program runs out. I'm booking another one straight away. So I know I've got more work to do. So and that's the thing. It never ends. So just keep pushing forward. Best thing, I've recommended Neil to that many more people. I think any work that you do on yourself is worthwhile. and I'm sure there's other healers out there just as good. But yeah, I would recommend Neil to anyone. So yeah, definitely come see him.